One company lost over $300 billion. Construction stopped. Investors panicked. Families lost their savings. And some of the world's richest real estate billionaires watched their empires collapse in real time. In the 2000s and 2010s, real estate became one of the fastest ways to build wealth. Interest rates were low. Banks were lending aggressively. Luxury property prices kept rising. Developers realized something powerful. If property prices always go up, then borrowing huge amounts of money looked genius. Companies began taking on massive debt to build luxury towers, mega malls, five-star resorts, billion-dollar apartment projects. And for a while, it worked. Some developers became richer than movie stars and tech founders combined. One of the biggest examples was China Evergrande Group. At its peak, Evergrande became one of the largest property developers on Earth, with projects across hundreds of cities. The company expanded aggressively using enormous amounts of borrowed money. BBC feeds. Its founder, Hui Kai-yen, became one of Asia's richest men. But behind the luxury image, the empire was dangerously fragile. The business model was simple. Borrow money, build more projects, sell apartments, use future sales to pay old debt, then repeat. Again, and again, and again. The problem? This system only works if property prices keep rising forever. When the market slows down, everything starts breaking. Developers suddenly struggle to sell homes. Cash stops flowing. Banks demand repayments. Investors panic. And because these companies borrowed billions, even a small slowdown becomes catastrophic. Evergrande became the perfect example. By 2021, the company had accumulated more than $300 billion in liabilities, becoming one of the most indebted property developers in history. Yefi noticias +1. Millions of apartments remained unfinished. Suppliers went unpaid. Homebuyers lost confidence. Then came the defaults. What happened next shocked the global economy. Evergrande started missing debt payments. Its stock collapsed. Creditors demanded money. Construction projects froze across China. Entire apartment complexes were left unfinished. Families who had spent life savings on homes suddenly had nothing. The company's downfall became so massive that many analysts compared it to the 2008 financial crisis. A Hong Kong court eventually ordered parts of the company into liquidation after restructuring efforts failed. South China Morning Post +1. In 2025, Evergrande was officially delisted from the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, marking one of the most dramatic corporate collapses in modern real estate history. BBC feeds +1. At one point, Evergrande had been worth over $50 billion. Then almost everything disappeared. China wasn't the only place where luxury property empires exploded. In Europe, another giant was collapsing. Signa Holding built an empire filled with luxury department stores, office towers, and high-profile real estate investments. The company owned stakes connected to famous properties, including the Chrysler Building and luxury retail businesses. Reuters +1. Its founder, René Benko, became one of Europe's most powerful property tycoons. But the empire relied heavily on debt. When interest rates surged after the pandemic, the system cracked. Signa Holding filed for insolvency in late 2023. Creditors began fighting over billions. Investigations followed. Reports later revealed creditor claims worth more than €8 billion against the collapsed empire. Reuters. Benko himself later faced allegations connected to insolvency fraud, which he denied. Financial Times. The man once celebrated as a real estate genius suddenly became the face of one of Europe's biggest property disasters. At first glance, these collapses look different. Different countries, different billionaires, different buildings. But the core problem was almost identical. Number 1. Massive debt. These companies borrowed enormous amounts of money assuming growth would never stop. When markets slowed, the debt became deadly. Number 2. Cheap money ended. For years, low interest rates made borrowing easy. Then central banks raised rates aggressively. Suddenly, loans became expensive. Investors became cautious. Property demand weakened. The entire business model started collapsing. Overexpansion. Many developers expanded too fast. They entered luxury retail, hotels, entertainment, electric vehicles, giant mega projects. Instead of focusing on stable growth, they chased endless expansion. Evergrande even expanded far beyond housing into unrelated businesses, while its debt problems worsened. Number 4. Confidence disappeared. Real estate depends heavily on trust. If buyers believe projects won't finish, they stop buying. Once confidence collapses, the entire machine breaks. And in real estate, panic spreads fast. Behind every collapsed empire are real people. Workers lose jobs. Families lose savings. Investors lose billions. Construction stops. In China, unfinished apartment projects became symbols of fear and uncertainty. Some buyers had already paid for homes that were never completed. CNBC. Banks faced rising risks. Entire local economies slowed down. What looked like luxury from the outside was often built on fragile financial foundations. The age of grow at any cost may be ending. Today, investors are far more cautious. Banks are stricter. Interest rates are higher. Governments are watching debt levels closely. The real estate industry is changing. The developers surviving now are usually the ones with lower debt, stable cash flow, disciplined expansion, realistic growth. The billion-dollar fantasy of endless growth has collided with economic reality. These luxury real estate empires once looked untouchable. Their founders were treated like financial masterminds. But behind the skyscrapers and luxury lifestyles, many were balancing on mountains of debt. And when the market changed, everything collapsed. The rise was spectacular, but the fall, even bigger.